Good evening, Raider baseball fans, and welcome to another night of Rouse Raider baseball. It's baseball time in Texas, and we are set to take on the Wolves from Pflugerville Weiss High School tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Francis alongside my good friend Scott Mount as we're set to bring you Rouse Raider baseball. Lineups have been announced, and we'll go through them quickly here. For the Wolves, leading off, number 11, Seth Joseph at second base. Batting second, number 6, Nate Garcia in center field. Batting third, number 10, Tyler Freeman behind the plate. Number 2, Seth DeBay will be at third base and batting fourth. Number 14, Jason Usher will be in left field, batting fifth. Number 5, Jared Cook will be the shortstop for the Wolves tonight. Number 22, Gareth Tobias will be the starting pitcher. Number 9,
playing third base, number 3, Matt Garcia.
Number 9, Lopez will be at first base. And number 7, Jonas Fusel will be in right field. For your Rouse Raiders, a little change up in the order tonight. 55, Dalton Porter will be leading off. He will be in short or in center field. Number 23, Jared Southard will be in right field. Number 22, Connor Bennett will be at short. Number 26, Lance Little will be at first base. Number 4, Tanner Robbins will be the designated hitter. He will be batting fourth. Number 2, Andrew Garcia, the catcher. Number 1, Dylan Lewis will be at second base and batting sixth. Number 3, Matt Garcia will be at third base. Number 34, Fisher Kingsbury will be the starting pitcher, batting eighth. And rounding out the order will be number 6, Jake Alepa in left field. We will take just a moment for the national anthem, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
This time I'd like to announce the head coaches for Weiss. Garrett Bavoni, assistant coach Evan Owens.
And we're back with you. And as the PA announcer had mentioned, the head coaches for both schools. For Weiss, Coach Garrett Bavoni is the head coach. He's assisted by Evan Owens. For your Rouse Raiders, head coach Chad Krempine and assisted by Josh Harris. Well, Scott, we've gone through 6 district games and we've come through undefeated. Unscathed, as Ray would say. Oh, Ray Southard's in the press box with us tonight. It's Jared Southard's dad, and he's going to be running the scoreboard tonight. The Bob Euchre of Rouse High School. And Rouse, with a combined, over the district game, Scott, has a combined ERA of .49.
Just an outstanding ERA, Michael. It's pitching's really come alive this year. We had some challenges during the preseason, but it looks like we've overcome them. And I think a lot of it has to do with the program that Coach Krempine has going on.
Oh, I totally agree. You know, he's kind of scratched his head a lot through the tournament season, trying to get everybody into shape and determine who was going to play which position. And Coach Krempine, as you know, pulls no punches.
Pulls no punches. He'll move players around. He's done so every game. We've got some different players in different positions tonight, and we're going to continue on with with hopefully the run through the district right now.
Rouse sits atop the district standings at 6-0, but they're just ahead of the Pflugerville Panthers, who come in at 5-1 in district.
Well, I believe the Wolves beat Cedar Park, didn't they?
Yes.
So we're going to have a good night for baseball, and we're also going to bring as many live updates as we can, folks, from your Fighting Texas Aggies and the TU Longhorns. We'll be playing tonight in Austin.
That's the University of Texas, and you got 3 Texas Longhorns.
I'm a little outnumbered tonight.
Sitting right here amongst you, buddy.
Two Longhorn dads. Both players have signed commitments with UT. Really proud of that.
Number 11, Seth Joseph, the second baseman, stands in from the right side. He takes for strike 1. Kingsbury, fastball down and away for ball 1. The count evens. Raiders looking to continue their winning ways here tonight versus Weiss. Swing and a miss from
nice
Joseph.
Pitch there from Fisher
for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Joseph. Defensively for the Raiders, Kingsbury on the mound. Andrew Garcia behind the plate. Curveball gets him on strike 3. Beautiful hanging curveball from Fisher Kingsbury to get the punch out. 1 away, and that'll bring up number 6, Nate Garcia, the center fielder. Lance Little on first base, Dylan Lewis at second base, Matt Garcia, the twin brother of Andrew, at third base, Connor Bennett at short, Jake Alepa in left, Dalton Porter in center, and Jared Southard in right. Fastball down the middle for called strike as Garcia takes. 1 out with nobody on here in the top of the first, a scoreless ball game. High and outside for ball 1.
Andrew Garcia, the catcher tonight. Like you said, he is the twin brother of Matt Garcia, the third baseman. Both are seniors on this varsity squad. Been here since the pre-freshman days.
1-1 pitch, high and outside that Kingsbury loses the handle on. Looked like he was trying to drop a curveball in there. 2-1 to count to Garcia. Kingsbury toes in on the rubber. The fastball's cut on and missed for strike 2, and that'll even the count. Kingsbury pitching from the stretch. A beautiful night here in Leander. Have a little bit of southerly breeze blowing right to left. Pitch fouled back out of play. Count remains 2-2. Overcast skies. Kingsbury comes set, delivers high and outside, and Garcia works the count full. 3 Garcias on the field at the moment. Payoff pitch. Fastball misses high for ball 4. Garcia draws the walk, and that'll bring up the catcher, number 10, Tyler Freeman.
That's going to bring up number 10 for the Wolves, Tyler Freeman.
Pflugerville, or Weiss, I should say, in their black tops, gray pants with red numerals outlined in gray, red stripes on the sleeves.
Hard to believe Pflugerville has 3 high schools. Being told they have 5 high schools.
We just happen to have 3 of them. 4 high schools. Fastball fouled off. I'm not sure if it called catcher interference.
That brings up number 2 for the Wolves.
All right.
I didn't see exactly what happened there. I was watching the foul ball go over the backstop and missed what the umpire called, but he awarded.
2 different sounds.
He awarded the base. Runners at first and second. This is cut on and crushed out to the left. Jake Aleppo over makes the catch, and
My fault, sorry.
DeBay is retired on the flyout.
That brings up
2 away.
for the Wolves, Jason Usher.
And that will bring up
Yeah.
the left fielder, number 14, Jason Usher. Courtesy runner comes in for the catcher. And that is Carter Coffin. Number 3, Carter Coffin, courtesy running for Freeman, the catcher. Kingsbury checks the runner back at second. Fastball down the middle for strike as Usher takes. Garcia extends his lead as second. Fisher steps off and resets. Not sure if he had clear signs from Garcia. Pitch down the middle for strike 2. And he delivered that one right down the middle. 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the first. We're scoreless here in Leander. The 0-2 pitch gets the outside corner for strike 3 call. And Usher and the Wolves are retired. No runs on no hits. 2 left on after 1/2. We're still scoreless here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Took some cough medicine. We'll see if it works. Push it. Thank you.
All right, I think we're set to go here. I showed Scott where his cough button is.
For my cough button, I've had a shot and everything, and it's just not working.
Due up for the Raiders in their half of the first. Dalton Porter, Jared Southern, and Connor Bennett. Defensively for Pflugerville. Tobias is on the mound. Freeman behind the plate. Lopez at first. Joseph at second. Cook at short. DeBay at third. Usher in left. Garcia in center. And Fusel in right field. Tobias, left-handed pitcher, will be facing the left-handed batting Dalton Porter.
Dalton John Porter.
Dalton Paul Porter.
Paul.
That's going to bring up number 55 for the Raiders, Dalton Paul Porter.
It doesn't even phase him anymore.
No.
I don't think that it ever did, to be honest with you. He never looked
Wonder
toward the
if
press box.
Aunt Caitlin never sent any money.
Kindling?
Kindling,
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
I saved it for you.
thank
so
you.
can
That's
Porter takes for ball 1, a pitch high and inside. Aunt Kindling, if you would send Dalton some money, he'd greatly appreciate it. And it doesn't even have to be his birthday, he says. Takes for ball 2. Pitch down and away, low. 2-0 the count to Porter. Pitch gets the outside corner for 1 strike.
I'm sure his cousins, Grant and Kalen, would approve if Mom sent some money.
I'll bet they would. The 2-1, that misses for ball 3, and Porter ahead in the count. Sometimes lefties they struggle more against left-handed batters than they do against right-handed batters when they're pitching. The 3-1, it misses low for ball 4. And Porter will draw the leadoff walk.
That's going to bring up number 23 for the Raiders, Jared Southern.
Number 23, Jared Southern, digs in from the right side. 1 on with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Tobias from the stretch. He delivers high for ball 1.
Jared, one of our seniors on this varsity squad.
This is cut on and hit out toward right. It's going to fall in fair. And Porter was holding up thinking that it might be caught. And it falls to the ground for the hit. He had to hightail it to get down to second base. Southern with a single. And the Raiders have 2 aboard. Runners at first and second for the shortstop, number 22, Connor Bennett. Tobias checks Porter at second. Comes home. This is cut on and hit over to third. And they will get the force at second base on the fielder's choice. And Southern heads back to the dugout. And runners on the corners. That'll go 5-6. Or actually, it's 5-4 on the putout. So, from what I'm understanding is the Pflugerville coach or Weiss coach is complaining that Southern interfered by the way he slid into second base. I didn't notice anything illegal myself, but and they'll get this sorted out and we will move forward. Okay, so they're saying that Southern did nothing wrong. So everybody's where they need to be.
Everyone's where they need to be, and the drama has ended for this half inning so far. And that just added gasoline to the Rouse dugout.
Number 26, Lance Little, the first baseman, comes up to the plate. And he will attempt to get this run home. Fastball gets the outside corner for strike 1. Wind kind of hitting a little lull every once in a while. I'll see the flags drop. Swing and a miss from Little on a outside pitch. And Tobias got him to chase for strike 2, and he quickly falls behind 0-2. Pitch high and outside for ball 1. And Freeman set him up way outside. 1-2 the count to Little. Little gets just a piece of it. Like a little backdoor slider that he just got the head of the bat on and able to foul it off. Count remains 1-2. That's where you say, win it. Come on, son, win it. The 1-2. This is cut on and hit out towards center. And it drops in for a hit. And that will score Porter. And the Raiders get the first one on the board. Garcia was running in on it, and he slid trying to make the catch, and it fell just in front of his glove. So that'll go for a hit for Lance Little. Runners at first and second now, and that'll bring up number 4, Tanner Robbins, the designated hitter. Yes, power hitter. Got his first home run last week.
Boy, did he ever.
Bennett trying to get Tobias off balance, bouncing back and forth with his lead there at second base. Ball 1 to Tanner Robbins. The 1-0 misses low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Robbins. Both runners extend their lead. Lopez staying close to first base. 2-0 pitch, that's in the dirt. It doesn't get far enough away for Freeman to allow Bennett to go to third. But that does put Robbins in a 3-0 count. Pitch from Tobias. It misses for ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
That'll bring up number 1 for the Raiders, Dylan Lewis.
Dylan Lewis last week had some timely hits, and it'd be great to hear him or see him do it tonight.
Yeah, Big D, another senior on the varsity squad. He's a scrappy player, good base runner. He could certainly do some damage right now, and we need it.
Raiders have 1 run in, which our scoreboard operator has missed. Our scoreboard operator has missed that 1 run. Lewis takes for ball 1. Tobias comes set. The 1-0. That's cut on. That's hit to second. This could be trouble. There's 1 and 2. They turn the double play to end the inning.
And at the end of 1,
After 1,
Raiders 1.
Raiders get
Wolves
1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 on.
Is your current career how you want to pick?
After 1, it's 1-0 Raiders. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Scott, when's the last time you had some Bohemian barbecue?
Oh, man, you're reading my mind. Bohemian's Barbecue, proud sponsor of the Raider program. I understand they have a food truck out in Jonestown. Need to stop by there on 1431 and see their food truck. And when you do, mention that you heard the broadcast on SHN and thank them for their sponsorship of the Rouse Raider baseball team. Bohemian's Barbecue, another proud sponsor of Rouse Raider baseball.
Those double
Understand
plays.
They were at South by Southwest as well, from what I was told.
Yeah, I'd heard that they'd had a trailer set up out there. They're out in Lago Vista, right?
Lago Vista, Jonestown area.
Jonestown area, yeah. I almost started to head out that way last night, but then I realized I was running short on time and wasn't able to go. Due up for Weiss in the second, Cook, Tobias, and Lopez.
Leading off the top of the
Fisher
second,
Kingsbury
number 5.
back on to pitch the second for the Raiders.
Understand last night the varsity dinner was hosted by the Kingsbury family, Fisher's dad, and grilled hamburgers, and I didn't get one.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Cook hits this one out to left, and we'll get a leadoff single here in the second.
That'll bring up number 22 for the Wolves, Garrett Tobias.
Number 22, Garrett Tobias, comes to the plate. Tobias, the pitcher. He'll dig in from the left side. One on with no outs here in the top of the second. Your Raiders lead 1-0 over the Wolves. Tobias shows bunt, and Fisher steps off. Cook extends his lead, but not far enough. The throw over is not in time as he dives back in. Fastball upstairs for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes to Tobias. Pitch from Kingsbury. Misses high for ball 2.
What was that? Delayed. I can't decide if I'm going to call a strike call, so I'll call a ball.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Yeah. So 2 balls, no strikes.
Cook extends his lead at first. The pitch from Kingsbury, high and outside for ball 3. Pitch from Kingsbury in for a strike. That'll move the count to 3-1. Three and one to Tobias. Cook at first extends his lead. He takes off for second base, and it's ball 4. A pitch that sails high.
That'll bring up number 9 for the Wolves, Zarin Lopez.
Kingsbury gives up his second walk.
Coach coming to the mound, have a little talk, settle him down. Bring the infield in right now. Let's talk about it.
Number 9, Zarin Lopez. Will come to the plate. Lopez, the first baseman for the Wolves. Two on with no outs here in the top of the second. Kingsbury checks Cook back at second, and he delivers home. This is a foul bunt. Goes into the stands for strike 1. And the kids are scampering for it. First one to get it to the concession stand gets the free snow cone.
There you go. If they make them cry, they get a jumbo.
Right. Oh, the days of Little League when foul balls were returned to the concession stand for a free snow cone just to keep them from disappearing. Lopez shows bunt again on a hit and run, and the double steal in play, and Garcia made no attempt to throw to second or third.
So, top of the fourth, folks, from Dishfalk Field, you're fighting Texas Aggies 4, Texas Longhorns 1. A lot of baseball to play.
Still a lot of baseball to play. Don't rule the Horns out.
Oh, I know better than that.
1-1 the count to Lopez.
There we go.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. Raiders need some outs and in a hurry. One and two the count to Lopez. 1-2 pitch.
Coming.
Swing and a miss.
Got it.
And the throw in time to Kingsbury. He tags Cook out at the plate. And that's a 1-2 play right there with a strikeout. So kind of a different double play. Caught stealing home for out number 2. Lopez out on the strikeout. That'll bring up the right fielder, Jonas Fusel, as he takes for ball 1. Coach Bavoni showing his displeasure with the umpiring.
And he was not happy with that.
1-0 swing and a miss for a 1-1 count.
Well, everyone wants their player to be safe every time, but that's why we have umpires.
1-1 pitch misses high and inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Fusel. Tobias at third base. Fusel takes for strike 2. That'll even the count up at 2. Deuce is wild, as we like to say. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Curveball cut on and missed, strike 3, and down go the Wolves. Back-to-back punch-outs for Fisher Kingsbury. No hits, or 1 hit, 1 left on, and no runs scored after 1.5. Your Rouse Raiders 1. The Weiss Wolves, nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Due up for the Raiders in the bottom of the second will be Matt Garcia, Fisher Kingsbury, and Jake Alepa. Gareth Tobias back on the hill for the Weiss Wolves to pitch the second.
Lights are on the stadium now.
Leading off for the Raiders in the bottom of the second.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, there's a lot of baseball left. Come on down. We've got concession stands open. Good baseball between Weiss and Rouse. And it's going to be a dandy tonight. Looks like a good pitching duel so far. So get in the car, come on down.
It's the first of 3 for the week for the Raiders. Raiders will play Weiss again on Friday night. Kingsbury drills this one out to left on the first pitch, and he'll get the leadoff single.
That brings up number 3 for the Raiders, Matt Garcia. And that'll bring number 18, Big E, Ethan Moore, courtesy running for Fisher Kingsbury.
Number 18, Ethan Moore, was on to courtesy run for Kingsbury. Tobias comes set. The pitch as Garcia shows bunt, lays off for ball 1.
Looks like we're having a conference, coach and umpire, so.
I think he's saying that he batted out of order. Which I did have it that way in the book, so he may have a legitimate complaint.
We had a Rouse Raider bat out of order, folks.
Oh, well, his lineup card had Garcia. The batter's out, or
Hey, it's all good. We got a lot of ball game. Let's go. Technically, Matthew should have batted in Fisher's place. Fisher's not batting in Fisher's place.
So Fisher will come back to the plate and bat in his normal order.
and Garcia is
We'll go back
out.
to the
Man,
dugout. So
That'll bring up number 34 for the Raiders, Fisher Kingsbury.
So Kingsbury is going to be ruled out. Kingsbury throws this one or drills it down to third base. DeBay has it, throws him out. And wow, what a rocky start to this inning.
that is something that coaches hate to see, Mike.
Number 6 for the Raiders.
Somewhere there was a breakdown in communication, and there may be some motivational adjustment coming.
Batting out of order cost him, and that'll bring up the number 9 batter, the left fielder, Jake Alepa, who takes for ball 1. Pitch high and inside for a strike. One and one the count to Alepa. Pitch from Tobias cut on and missed for strike 2. A 1-2 pitch. That's chopped on and a hopper over to third. Throw not in time. And Alepa gets on board. That's going to be an E5.
That'll bring up number 55 for the Raiders, Dalton Paul Porter.
E5 on the third baseman.
I'll see if Dalton can get things going. 2-out rally.
Alepa takes off down to second. And there will be no throw. Porter reached on a walk his first at bat. He takes for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. This is fouled back to the net. And the count evens at 1. Alepa extends his lead, and the shortstop and second baseman steadily getting closer and closer to him. 1 on with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the second, your Rouse Raiders leading 1-0. The pitch in for a strike. And Porter down in the count, 1-2.
This is the time in the past where Dalton's been dangerous. He'll get down in that count. Next thing you know, he's jacked one out there to right field.
Pitch from Tobias. This is hit over towards second. Throw from Joseph in time, and that'll retire the side. No runs on no hits, 1 left aboard. After 2 complete, it's your Rouse Raiders 1, Weiss 0. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Did I say after 1? After 2, you're listening to Rouse Raider Sports.
Proud supporter of Rouse Raider Baseball.
Folks, does your career have you in a pickle? Well, this next inning is brought to you by Farmers Insurance, an alumni parent, Dale Vanoy Insurance. Proud father of Cody Vanoy, All-State catcher, graduated last year. If your career needs some help, or if you just want to change, call Dale Vanoy at Farmers Insurance. You will hit it out of the park in your new career. Longtime supporter of the program, Michael.
Glad to have him on board.
We've had some alumni come to quite a few of our games this year. We had Scott Jacobs here last game, last Friday night.
Number 11, Seth Joseph.
His son Austin, going to be a second lieutenant in the Air Force. We certainly thank him for his service.
Seth Joseph will lead off the first, back to the top of the order. So he'll face Kingsbury for the second time. Joseph, a strikeout victim. Kingsbury calls time. He wants to make sure that him and Garcia are on the same page.
You know, that previous inning that hurt with Kingsbury getting that really good base hit.
You have to lead things off.
To lead things off and then get it negated.
You know, and I started erasing out of my book thinking maybe I had copied it wrong off the roster. And I'm like, no, I know I didn't. And sure enough, he had batted out of order. That's the first time I've seen that ever happen. Kingsbury has it. Throw down to first in time, and Joseph is retired, but he has definitely got some wheels.
He certainly does.
Nate Garcia.
Stop crying. I'm not talking to you.
That'll go 1-3 on the putout.
Got some activity in the Rouse stands and the Weiss coach.
Swing and a miss from Nate Garcia as he stands in. He digs in from the left side. Another fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. Nothing at 2, the count to Garcia. Garcia drew the walk his first time up. Fastball outside for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. He was able to check his swing and hold up. I thought I was smelling some food in here. The 2-2, a swing and a miss. And Garcia is retired for out number 2.
Tyler Freeman.
That's Kingberry's 5th punch out of the night.
Hamburgers that his dad Austin made must be really magical.
Tyler Freeman comes to the plate. The catcher, he takes for ball 1, a curveball that gets in the dirt and bounces away from Garcia for ball 1. If you remember, Scott, Freeman was the one that looked like he fouled off a pitch, and they ruled that it hit him. And I'm not sure how that happens. His hands are actually part of the bat, if I understand correctly.
Hands are part of the bat.
So I don't know how that happens. If it was. So I wasn't either. I'll have to check with Coach Crampine to see what that ruling was. 1-0 in for a called strike. That'll even the count up at 1. The 1-1 pitch, that's cut on. That's hit over to short. Bennett has it, throws over to first, and the Wolves go down in order. 6-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 2.5, it's your Rouse Raiders 1, the Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Due up for the Raiders in the 3rd, Southern, Bennett, and Little.
Make sure you make your way down to the concession stand.
You know, Michael, I saw in the forecast, supposed to have a good chance of rain coming this weekend, Saturday. So it's going to be a good time to get out there and do your gardening, your mulching. And if you're going to use any of that, make sure you go to another sponsor of the Raider program, Austin Wood Recycling. They're the makers of that fine Texas native mulch that you can find at Lowe's. Lowe's being another sponsor of the program, provided all of our brand new picnic tables this year. Austin Wood Recycling. They're on 1431. Make sure you go by and tell them hi. Tell them thank you for supporting the program and all of that good Texas native mulch that they produce.
Well, I use their mulch there at the house. Norma, she really likes their black mulch, and so that's what we put out in the beds every year. So I can recommend them as a first-hand customer. And it's durable and holds up and makes your yard really pop.
Yep. Really good product, and they've been a sponsor now for the past 3 years. Really appreciate their help with the program. You know, folks, sponsorships like this is what allowed the varsity team to get brand new helmets this year and allowed the JV1 and JV2 teams to continue on with some uniforms.
Tobias winds and fires high and outside to Southern for ball 1. The 1-0, that's cut on and lined to Joseph at second. Line out to second for the first out. That's L4. That will bring up number 22, Connor Bennett. Pitch misses low for ball 1. As Bennett watch that all the way through. The 1-0, this is through the gap into left. Bennett picks up the single.
Just a good solid hit in the gap there, and third baseman wasn't able to get over there in time.
Lance Little.
That'll bring up Lance Little. Little singled back in the first. One on with one out here in the bottom of the third. Your Rouse Raiders leading this one 1-0. Pitch from Tobias. This is hit foul down the left field side and just goes foul as it bounces inside of the third base and out before it passed the bag, or else it would have been a fair ball once it got past third base. One strike to Little. Bennett dives back in, and the throw not in time. The 0-1 pitch. That's in for a strike. And Little falls behind 0-2. Freeman sets up outside. Tobias deals high and outside for ball one. 1-2 the count to Little. Outfield playing somewhat shallow. A little snap throw from Tobias to Lopez at first. Keeps Bennett honest and gets him back to the bag.
We can hear the Raider dugout really giving Tobias a little bit of a pressure.
1-2, and Bennett jumped, and he gets the base. He had to go to first. A lot of times that's how a pitcher will go to balk after they see the runner is taken off, but he has to go to first or it's a balk. And Bennett's speed gets him the stolen base. 1-2 the count to Little with Bennett in scoring position. Pitch from Tobias misses outside for ball two, and the count evens. Two and two the count to Little. Raiders leading this one 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. One on with one out. Tobias from the stretch. That's fouled back to the fence. And Little stays alive. Tanner Robbins on deck for the Raiders. 2-2 the count. Dalton Porter, the lone Raider, to cross the plate today. 2-2 pitch misses outside for ball three. Little has worked it back to a full count. Payoff pitch. That's in the dirt for ball four. And the Raiders have two aboard. Robbins drew the walk his first time up. And then was caught up in the inning-ending double play. Pitch in for a strike as Robbins takes all the way. Weiss checks Bennett at second. He deals high for ball 1. That'll even the count at 1. One and one the count to Robbins. The pitch. This is fouled back. Robbins just gets a piece of it. And we'll take the count to 1 and 2. See if Robbins can come in clutch right here. Love to get some runs back on the board, some more insurance.
Yeah, we definitely need it.
The 1-2. Foul tip back in the glove of Freeman for the strikeout.
Brings up number 1 for the Raiders, Dylan Lewis.
2 away for Dylan Lewis. Lewis hit into the double play to end the first. Raiders had 2 on the base at the same time. Outside pitch called for a strike.
That was outside, all right.
Nothing in 1 the count to Lewis. This is cut on and hit out toward right. Fusel over, makes the catch, and that'll end the third for the Raiders. Raiders get no runs on 1 hit. And 2 left on after 3. It's Rouse 1, Weiss nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
For sponsoring Raider Baseball. Next time you choose mulch.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and listening. I'm Michael Francis alongside Scott Mount. I think I made a mistake the other day. I think I called you Scott Cope the other day.
That's okay.
Which Scott Cope is a former coworker of mine.
Right.
And when I was listening to the broadcast later, I was like, did I actually say that?
No, we're having fun here, folks, and that's what this is all about. And part of that fun is getting to mention our fine sponsors that we have. Another group is the Williamson County Deputies Association. They've been with the program now for quite a few years, and we appreciate their sponsorship and helping protect those who protect us, the Williamson County Deputies Association. We do have a lot of fun up here, Michael.
My apologies for that. Anyway.
We've got our 2 helpers up here tonight, Mr. Porter and Mr. Southard, are volunteering their time. And, we may not always mention it every broadcast. We have a really good volunteer corps of parents. We have Mike Alepa, who's down our concession tonight. And we've got some other volunteers that do their time, and they normally don't get any type of shout out.
Kingsbury back on to pitch the 4th as he faces Seth DeBay for the second time. DeBay flew out to left his first time up. He takes for ball 1. 1-0. Tried to check his swing. He goes around. The umpire rings him up for it. That leaving the count up at 1. So this is a first of 3 for the Raiders, as we mentioned previously. They'll play Weiss again on Friday night, and then they will turn around and play Elgin back here at noon. It'll be a noon start for that game on Saturday.
Hopefully not a rain out.
Man, that was a nice-looking pitch right there. Not sure where that one missed. Called it outside. 3-1, the count to DeBay. Kingsbury comes set. he hits the same spot and gives up the walk, and
Jason Usher.
that will put a lead on a board and bring up the left fielder, number 14, Jason Usher. Usher caught looking his last time up. 1 on with no outs here in the top of the 4th. 1-0 Rouse. Kingsbury looks DeBay back to first. Not sure what Garcia was doing as he was moving way over in the left batter's box. Maybe he was going to pitch out and throw down to second, thinking he was going to steal. Maybe that was the strategy on that one. Garcia runs back through the signs. Kingsbury gets the one he likes. Pitch off the glove of Garcia, and that'll go for ball 1.
Oh, really?
1-0 the count to Usher. DeBay extends his lead at first. Kingsbury looks over, steps off, and looks DeBay back. Usher shows bunt. Garcia throws down, will not be in time. That one hops back to Lewis, and DeBay picks up the stolen base. Two balls, no strikes to Usher. 1 on, runner at second in scoring position. Pitch in for a strike as Usher continues to show bunt. 2-1 the count. DeBay extends his lead. And Kingsbury gets him in a rundown. He's caught in the pickle. The throw in time.
Outstanding
and he's tagged
play.
out. And DeBay is caught stealing.
Folks, that's how it's done.
Righties have a little bit more leeway than the lefty does when he's on the mound. Because he didn't have to go to any one base. He just had to step off. And
Fisher kept his composure, didn't throw wild, trusted his infielders, let them do the work.
This hit back up the middle. Bennett has it. The throw over. And that'll do it for Usher. 6-3 on the putout.
Brings up number 5 for the Wolves, Jared Cook.
So on the caught stealing, that is going to go 1-6-5. Fastball misses down and away as number 5, Jared Cook, comes to the plate. Cook with a single his last time up. Little shot out to left. 1-0. That's in for a called strike as he takes. 1-1 the count to Jared Cook. Nobody on with 2 outs. The pitch, this is chopped on and hit foul, and count will go to 1-2. Kingsbury toes in on the rubber. Garcia sets up on the outside part of the plate. A pitch in the dirt. And that'll even the count up. Deuces wild for Jared Cook. The 2-2 pitch. That's high. Tried to drop a curveball in there, and he just loses the handle on it. It just arcs and stays high. Cook works the count full. Pitch inside and to the backstop, and Cook hightails it down to first. That'll put another base runner aboard. That is the second walk of the inning from Kingsbury. Pitch from Kingsbury in for a strike. As the pitcher, Garrett Tobias.
That looked like a good
Digs
pick
in.
off and didn't make it.
Kingsbury showing good composure on the mound. He's had some adversity, but has kept his calm. This is cut on and hit back to the net, and Cook will turn around and head back to first. Tobias behind in the count, 0-2. Kingsbury steps off and looks Cook back to first. He picks up the sign from Garcia, and Tobias calls time. Pitch, swing and a miss, and that'll do it for Weiss. No runs, no hits, one left on. After 3.5, it's your Rouse Raiders 1, Weiss nothing. Due up for the Raiders in the fourth, Garcia, Kingsbury, and Alepa. And I'll bet you they don't make that same mistake they made last time.
I bet they don't make it. No, they won't.
I bet you we see Garcia come out there and.
You know, Michael, you mentioned that barbecue earlier, got me hungry. And if we can't have barbecue, friends, go check out Reali's Italian food.
Oh, yeah.
Another proud sponsor of the program. Go see Gino, the owner, Bob, and ask for a Sal's calzone. I think I mentioned that last time.
You did.
Named after Bob's son, Salvador, or Sally as we call him. It is probably the best calzone you can have. Bob, a proud Navy veteran. We thank him for his service. He's usually there at the restaurant walking around in a black coat, making sure everything's running right. And if it doesn't, he knows a guy.
He knows a guy.
He knows a guy. Reali's Italian food, Anderson Mill Road 183, folks.
Number 3, Matt Garcia, comes to the plate in the right order this time, as he will face Tobias for the first time tonight. Pitch from Tobias inside and high for ball one. The 1-0 pitch, that's upstairs for ball two. That pitch gets the strike call. 2-1 the count to Garcia. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Actually says he got a piece of it. And that'll even the count up at 2. A 2-2 pitch from Tobias. This is popped up. Third baseman calls it. DeBay makes the catch, and Garcia is retired for out number 1.
And that will bring up number 34 for the Raiders, Fisher Kingsbury.
Number 34, Fisher Kingsbury, will come to the plate. Kingsbury grounded to third. He takes for ball 1. Oh, 1 misses high for ball 2. Tight ball game, folks, this one so far. Raiders lead by 1, and it's 1-0.
And we lost our scorekeeper again? Okay.
Ball 4. Oh, no, it's a called strike. As he just gets the outside corner. David Little joins us to run the scoreboard. Kingsbury fouls this one off, and his count is worked full.
Folks, we have a pinch scoreboard keeper now, Mr. David Little. It's come in.
Payoff pitch. That's cut on and hit down the line to first. Lopez has it, steps on the bag, and Kingsbury is retired. That'll go 3-U on the putout.
That'll bring up number 6 for the Raiders, Jake Alepa.
Alepa reached on an error his first time up on the short throw by the third baseman. And Alepa takes for ball 1. The 1-0 sails high for ball 2. Alepa usually bats leadoff for the Raiders, but it's kind of been in a slump of late, and sometimes they get put back in the order, and it gives them a little bit of motivation to work their way back up. Alepa shows bunt and pulls back in ball 3. The 3-0, ball 4, and Alepa draws the walk.
Stepping into the box, number 55 for the Raiders, Dalton Paul Porter.
Dalton Porter comes back to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He has drawn a walk and is grounded to second. Alepa on his horse, and he gets in safe. The throw was in time. He just missed the tag.
Alepa's got those long arms, and he did the slide the way you're supposed to. He got in underneath.
Nice stolen base for Alepa. Good wheels. And Porter takes for ball 1. Want to know the count to Porter. A good single may score Alepa. That pitch in the dirt and bounces away, and Alepa scampers to third. That's where you want him to be, Dalton. Raiders with a golden opportunity to put a little insurance on the board. 2-0 the count to Porter. 1 on with 2 outs. Porter takes for strike. And it'll take the count to 2-1. Tobias drops a pitch right down the middle. Little off speed for strike 2, and that'll even the count up. Deuces wild for Dalton Porter. Raiders need this run.
They do.
1 in the gap would be what the doctor ordered right here. Ball 4. Well, he got me. It is 3-2. He's turned around and threw the bat back toward the dugout. I should have known better. No, you count. No, you count. Payoff pitch. He's worked it full anyway. The payoff pitch, that's. Oh, he's saying he checked his swing. He's saying he went around and rung him up.
Oh.
I don't know about that one.
Okay.
Raiders get no runs on no hits. They leave 1 on. After 4 complete, it's your Rouse Raiders 1, Weiss Wolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Raiders have let some opportunities slip through their hands, Scott.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they need to get some more offense productive. It is a pitching duel right now with Raiders only up by 1 run.
Raiders have stranded 6 runners on the night.
It almost looks like the Raiders aren't fully loosened up. They're a little tight tonight. Maybe they need to go see the chiropractor to the Raiders, Lacombe Chiropractic. Another proud sponsor. They handle the team medical needs.
That'll bring up number 9 for the Wolves, Zarin Lopez.
Number 9, Zarin Lopez. The first baseman will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. A strikeout victim back in the second. The pitch, that's cut on and hit foul down the third base side for strike 1.
Next time you need an adjustment, go see Lacombe Chiropractor.
Yeah, I've never had that done. I went with my wife one time when she was having some shoulder problems, and it was an experience, I'll say that. Lopez takes for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Lopez. Wow, I'm not sure where that one missed, but it did. 2-1. It's just not getting a lot of favor on that outside corner.
No, I think
A swing and a miss from Lopez, and that will even the count as the umpire really setting up in the batter's box.
we've seen that all year, Mike. It's interesting how the umpires this year are setting up far left.
2-2. He gets the call on the punch out.
That brings up
1 away.
for the Wolves, Jonas Fusel.
And that'll bring up number 7, Jonas Fusel. Fusel also a strikeout victim. He takes. That was generous on a outside pitch.
That was a bit outside.
That was
as Bob Euchre would say.
just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
Fastball right down the middle, swung on and missed for strike 2.
One of my closest friends is from the Ohio area, and he is a diehard Indian fan.
Diehard Indians.
Oh, yeah. We played Balcones Little League for many years, and
Go Tribe.
we were always the Indians.
Pitch down and away for ball 1.
Welcome to Teepee Talk.
Teepee Talk. Or some classics like Harry Carey.
Harry Carey, there you go.
Hey, Harry Carey here. Pitch high and outside for ball 2. Fans thought it deserved a strike call. Had a tendency to agree with the umpire, just a bit outside. 2-2 the count to Fusel. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and 2 away. And back to the top of the order we go.
Folks, we have a good old-fashioned pitching duel tonight.
Brings up number 11, Seth Joseph.
Seth Joseph, the second baseman, will come on. He's 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded back to the pitcher. Kingsbury comes set, delivers a curveball, misses high for ball 1. Kingsbury with 8 punch-outs so far on the night. Fastball misses for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Joseph. The 2-0. That's in for a strike. Two and 1 to count. Kingsbury comes set. He delivers. This hits him on the shoulder. And Garcia is, I think it might have got him on the side of the neck or something. He's walking it off. And Coach Harris comes out to check on him. I'll take this moment, Scott. How are our Longhorn and Aggies doing?
Well, let's check it out. End of the 6th inning. Fighting Texas Aggies 7, Longhorns 2.
Well, if the Longhorns going to do something, they're going to have to get with it.
Yeah, a lot of baseball to play.
So a little injury timeout here. It's Raider infield gets on the same page, and
we're ready to play again.
Wolves with 1 aboard. Seth Joseph hit by pitch, and
That'll bring up number 6 for the Wolves, Nate Garcia.
Nate Garcia, he's 0 for 1. He has a walk and struck out back in the 3rd. Kingsbury spins off and looks Joseph back to first. Throw over. Wow, that looked really close. Garcia will make another trip out to the mound. Little quick turnaround.
Probably tell him let's get this batter.
Garcia yet to see a pitch in this at bat. Joseph extends his lead at first. Pitch sails wide of the bag, or wide of the plate rather, for ball one. One ball, no strikes to Nate Garcia. 1-0, that's down the pipe for strike one. One and one the count. Kingsbury looks over. Throw over. That goes
That's what I was afraid
by
of.
little, and Joseph Rounds second. He's headed to third. There will not be a throw, and he holds up at third. Sometimes you go to the well one too many times, and that put Joseph over. That'll be an E1. On the throw from Kingsbury. Curveball in the dirt for ball two. Tying run just 90 feet away. The advantage is that there are two outs. If the Raiders can get him to hit into his. Well, they didn't. He hits a single, and that scores the run. And the game is tied. Garcia with the single, an RBI single.
That'll bring up number 10 for the Wolves, Tyler Freeman.
And Coach Crimpine is called time. And we are knotted up.
Yeah, solid base hit. And
that'll do it for Kingsbury. Connor Bennett comes on in relief. Tanner Robbins will come in. He will play second. And I believe Lewis will move to short. What a mistake by Kingsbury on that pickoff move to first.
And I think that's what Andrew was trying to settle him down, of saying, look, you've got two outs. Let's go for the batter. And sometimes when you're a pitcher, you see the glimmer in the corner of your eye. You just got to get that runner.
Right.
And you got to listen to your catcher.
And that error proved costly as the tying run did score on the single by Garcia up the middle. And that'll do it for Garcia as Kingsbury will come in to catch.
Coach making his changes now.
So defensive changes are that Tanner Robbins will come in at second base. Dylan Lewis moves over to short. Bennett moves to pitcher, and Kingsbury will move to catcher. And Garcia will go to the bench.
Interesting thought if you think about it, Michael. With Kingsbury coming in to catch now, the runner at first base is his responsibility.
All right, now I've got my defensive card all set up. Bennett picks up the sign from Kingsbury. Garcia extends his lead at second. He takes off down to second base. Throw down to second. Not in time as Garcia slides beneath the tag and gets the bag before the tag gets him. One strike to Tyler Freeman. That's the second catcher's interference he has called. Catcher's interference.
That'll bring up number 2 for the Wolves, Seth DeBay.
The Wolves have 2 aboard, runners at first and second. As Seth DeBay comes to the plate. Swing and a miss from DeBay for strike 1. DeBay is 0 for 1. He flew out to left and walked back in the 4th and then was caught stealing. Swing and a miss on a beautiful curveball from Connor Bennett. DeBay down in the count 0-2. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. We're all knotted up at 1 here in the top of the 5th. Connor Bennett, fastball down the middle, and DeBay caught looking. That'll do it for the Wolves in the 5th. They get 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 2 on. After 4.5, it's your Rouse Raiders 1, the Weiss Wolves 1. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Austin Wood Sidings and Windows has been helping Austin homeowners with siding and window projects for over 6 years. Thank you, Austin Pros and Siding Windows.
Long game tonight, Michael.
Well, the Raiders' past couple of games have been run-shortened games.
Right.
They played 5 last Tuesday and then 6 on Friday.
Barring any major change, I think we'll go the full 7.
Gareth Tobias is on to pitch the 5th for the Wolves. And he will face Southard, Bennett, and Little to get things started here in the 5th. And the Raiders need some offense in a bad way.
They certainly do. You know, one of the reasons the Raiders have been doing so well this year is because of our sponsor, Canes Southwest Batting Cages. It's a different brand of baseball. Go by there sometime. They're at 11880 Hero Way West. It's your local Leander hitting facility. Canes Southwest, a proud supporter of Rouse baseball. And I got the story on them, Michael. He actually opened up his batting cages during all of that bad weather in February and March and helped the team out quite a bit.
Southard gets rung up on the strike. He's 1 for 2. He lined out to second and singled back in the first. Falls quickly behind 0-2. Tobias winds, he deals. That's high for ball one.
Raider dugout is all on their feet. Got some rally caps going.
1-2. That's inside for ball two. That'll even the count up. Two and two, the count to Southern. Tobias deals high and outside for ball three, and Southern climbs back in and has worked it full. Payoff pitch is cut on and hit up the middle to the shortstop. Throw over in time. And Southern is retired. 6-3 on the putout.
That'll bring up number 22 for the Raiders, Connor Bennett.
Number 22, Connor Bennett will stand in. Bennett is 1 for 2. He's hitting the fielder's choice and singled. He takes for ball one. The 1-0 pitch. This is hammered out to left. And this goes all the way to the fence. Bennett rounds first. He's headed to second. And will be in with a stand-up double as he tattoos that one right down the left field line. Number 18, Ethan Moore, will come on to courtesy run for the pitcher.
And number 18, Big E, Ethan Moore, will be courtesy running for Connor Bennett. At the plate, we have number 26 for the Raiders, Lance Little.
Number 26, Lance Little, comes to the plate. Runner in scoring position, and Connor Bennett at second. It'd be great if Lance Little could tattoo one here in district play and put it out over by the scoreboard. Pitch way outside for ball one. If he can put it in Little's well house, he has the power to put it over the fence. But at this, I would take anything that would be a nice single in the gaps. He takes for ball two. A gapper would be nice too.
Right.
Tobias checks Bennett at second. It's cut on and fouled back for strike one. 2-1 to count to Little. Raiders have the go-ahead run standing at second. The 2-1 curveball in for a strike. That was a nice looking pitch from Tobias and had quite a bit of movement on it. 2-2 the count to Little. The pitch from Tobias, swing and a miss. And Little is retired for out number two.
That brings up number 4 for the Raiders, Tanner Robbins.
Number 4, Tanner Robbins, comes to the plate. Robbins is 0 for 2, or he's 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. Caught up in a double play back in the first. So he takes for ball one. Robbins, the 4th batter of the evening. Or the inning, not of the evening, I'm sorry. What was I thinking? Tobias deals. This is hammered on and hit up middle to short. The throw over to first in time. That'll go 6-3 on the putout No runs on one hit, one left on. After 5 complete, it's still 1-1 here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Due up for the Wolves in the 6th, Usher, Cook, and Tobias. Wolves batted 6 back in the 5th. After Kingsbury came into the inning and struck out the first 2 batters, and then a hit by pitch and a catcher's interference and a single got him pulled from the game, and then Bennett comes on in relief to strike out DeBay to end the inning. Leading off, number 14, Jason Usher will face Bennett for the first time tonight as he takes for ball 1. Fastball misses low. Bennett from the stretch. The pitch, swing and a miss. A little sliding action that gets the strike. 1-1 the count to Usher. Fastball down the middle for a strike. Usher falls behind 1-2. Usher, the left fielder for the Wolves. 1-2 the count. The pitch, a swing and a miss for punch out number 2. One away, and that'll bring up the shortstop, number 5, Jared Cook.
Brings up number 5 for the Wolves, Jared Cook.
Pitch from Bennett misses high for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, it's in the dirt for ball 2. Two 2-0 the count to Cook. Fastball down the middle for a strike. Two 2-1, swing and a miss from Cook for strike 2. That'll even the count up at 2. Puts that curveball, put that little bit of mustard on it.
Put a little mustard on it, and there it is. And there
And
we
another
go.
one for out number 2. He gets punch out number 2 of the inning, number 3 of the game. And that will bring up the pitcher, number 22, Gareth Tobias.
That'll bring up number 22, Garrett Tobias.
Tobias 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. So he takes for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, a fastball, missed. And that'll even the count up at 1. The 1-1 pitch, another swing and a miss for strike 2. And so far, the Wolves have been unable to find an answer to Mr. Bennett. The 1-2 pitch misses high. That'll even the count up at 2. Deuces wild to Tobias. This is cut on and hit out to right. Southern has it. He will hold it and throw it into Robbins. And Tobias picks up a single.
That'll bring up number 9.
Courtesy runner.
Aaron Lopez.
Number 4, Brendan Lee.
Courtesy runner number 4, Brendan Lee.
Will come on for the pitcher. And that will bring up number 9, Zarin Lopez. Bennett drops one in for a strike, a curveball, as Lopez was taking all the way. Lee extends his lead. He gets back as Bennett steps off. We have a thriller going here in Leander. A swing and a miss, a throw down by Kingsbury. Gets him. Lee caught stealing. That'll go 2-6 on the putout. Lopez will come back.
Need some offense here, folks.
In his at bat in the 7th. Yeah. On to the bottom we go. Your Rouse Raiders and the Weiss Wolves all tied up here at 1.
So, folks, the score from Dish Falk Field is now your Fighting Texas Aggies 7, University of Texas 5. Top of the 8th, 2 outs.
Climbing back in there.
Climbing back. Mr. Porter's explaining to me how he likes the score of 8-7. Sounds better than 7-5, but.
Right. So in a roundabout way, the Weiss Wolves kind of went down in order. No runs on one hit. Nobody left on as we go to the bottom. Number 1, Dylan Lewis comes to the plate as he takes, wow.
That's that floating strike again. That time it was a strike.
That was way high. That was about neck high for Lewis. The 0-1. Becomes an 0-2. Same pitch. At least he was consistent.
Yeah.
The 0-2 pitch from Tobias as Lewis lays off.
That looked like the best pitch out of all 3.
1-2 the count to Lewis. Tobias deals a swing and a miss from Lewis for out number 1. That'll bring up Matt Garcia.
Bring up number 3 for the Raiders, Matt Garcia.
So, depending on what we do here in the 7th, Michael, what did Coach teach us last time about district play and a tie?
No, you got to keep going.
That's what I thought.
You play extras. 2 balls, no strikes to Matt Garcia. Garcia is 0 for 2. He's batted out of order. And infield flied out to third. 3-0 the count. Low pitch, ruled a strike. And the count goes to 3-1. The 3-1 pitch from Tobias. This is hit foul down the third baseline. And the count goes full to Matt Garcia. Payoff pitch. This is cut on and popped up, playable. And that bounces in as Joseph misplays it, and it goes untouched, so that will not be an error.
And the first baseman had come off the bag, so there was no play at first. When
he will get the infield hit by virtue of nobody touching it. But an official scorekeeper may rule it that it should have been a routine play.
Should have been a routine play.
And would have ruled it an error.
Different runner for Matt Garcia.
In the big leagues.
So who came in for him?
I think that's
Ethan Moore.
Ethan Moore.
18 on first base. Big E, Ethan Moore, pinch running for Matt Garcia.
Well, I think unless he stays in the game, then that will burn him for the rest of the game. He won't be able to courtesy run anymore. Kingsbury takes for ball one. Tobias comes set. He is getting the benefit of that high strike.
Certainly is.
The 0-1, that misses low. For ball two. 2-1 the count. Some activity going in the Weiss bullpen. The throw over to first will not be in time. Two and one the count to Kingsbury. One on with one out here in the bottom of the sixth. This is lined out. Two short and caught. It's going to be well, I thought that
brings up number 6 for the Raiders, Jay Aleppo.
Well, he saw that it went by, so he took off to second, and I'm not sure how that goes. I thought that maybe they would award him possibly third.
Right.
The 0-1 to Aleppo. That's outside for ball one. That'll even the count up. So I missed how Kingsbury got out. Oh, it was a liner. That's right. Line to short.
Line to short and then wild throw to first.
And Moore takes off to third, and he gets the stolen bag with no throw. Go-ahead run, just 90 feet away. If Aleppo can. He's telling Porter to move away. which that's fairly common, as Dalton will squeeze as close to that plate as he can. 2-1, check swing in for a strike. Deuce is wild. Raiders need this run.
Sure looks like the umpires are more concerned about fine procedural.
This is a high fly ball, and the shortstop over makes the catch. Jared Cook, and that'll retire the side. Raiders get no runs on one hit, one left on. And after 6 complete, we're knotted up at 1 here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. I'm Michael Francis alongside Scott Mount as we bring you all the Raider action. Thankful for our wonderful sponsors who sponsor Rouse Raider Baseball, and their donations help to make this broadcast possible.
I'd like to say thank you to some of our great sponsors: Bohemian Barbecue, Rudy's Barbecue, Mighty Fine Burgers, Leslie Mount Realtor, Avalar Austin Realty, Reality's Italian Cafe, Lowe's in Leander, Lacombe Chiropractic, and Zach Sims at Kane Southwest Outdoor Facility. Thank you to these great sponsors.
You know, Michael, that friend of mine I was telling you about, the Cleveland Indians fan, I can hear him in the stands right below me. I can hear him flapping his gums.
Number 9, Zarin Lopez comes to the plate. Lopez 0 for 2. He's struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. So he fouls this one off for strike 1. Wolves batting the 8-9-1 hitters in this inning. The 0-1 in for a strike. Lopez behind 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. And Lopez has the hat trick on strikeouts.
Brings up number 7,
Yep.
Jonas Fusel.
Jonas Fusel comes to the plate. Fusel, the right fielder, he digs in from the left side. He takes for strike 1, a fastball on the outside corner. Nobody on with 1 out here in the top of the 7th, and a 1-1 score. The 0-1, that misses high and outside for ball 1. Bennett picks up the sign from Kingsbury. Curveball hangs outside for ball 2. Seth Joseph on deck for the Wolves. The 2-1 pitch misses low for ball 3. Three and 1 the count to Fusel. Pitch inside, misses for ball 4. And Bennett loses him.
Brings us back to the top of the lineup. Number 11, Seth Joseph.
Back to the top of the order is number 11, Seth Joseph, comes to the plate. Joseph is 0 for 2. He struck out Lined out to the pitcher. And was hit by pitch. He fouls this one off. For strike one. Nate Garcia on deck. The 0-1, swing and a miss for 0-2. Well, this is a nail biter going here, Scott.
It is. It's a long game, and we're going into it.
The 0-2 pitch, curveball, catches Joseph looking, and he nods his head in agreement. There was no doubt.
Brings up number 6 for the Wolves, Nate Garcia.
2 away for Nate Garcia. Garcia has walked, struck out, and singled. So he's 1 for 2. Kingsbury throws down in time. And again, the Raiders pick off a base runner.
Second throw out by Kingsbury.
Fusel thrown out. That's 2-6 on the putout. Caught stealing. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. And on to the bottom of the 7th we go. We're still knotted up at 1. Gareth Tobias comes on to pitch the 7th for Weiss. The Raiders score, it's over. If not, we go into extras. 110. Pitch count is 110 pitches, and I'm not sure what Tobias's pitch count is. It's got to be getting up there.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th for the Raiders is going to be number 55, Dalton Paul Porter.
So some phantom whistling. It's a fan whistling in the crowd mic. Dalton Porter will get things started here for the Raiders. Pitch from Tobias, way outside for ball 1.
Just a bit outside.
Jared Southard on deck. The 1-0 pitch from Tobias, that's high for ball 2.
No, you were right, Michael. The wind also is fairly died down a lot.
2-0 becomes a 3-0 on a pitch that was outside.
So we have a hitter's inning here.
The 3-0, that gets the corner for strike 1. Definitely a call that you would call a take, because he's thrown 3 consecutive balls like that and being the late innings.
Got to take that.
3-1 to count to Porter. The pitch from Tobias. This is hammered over to second. The throw over in time, and it looked like he stepped to the side of the bag and not on the bag. I wish we had instant replay. That'll go 4-3 on the putout. Raiders bring Jared Southard to the plate. Southard is singled this way back in the first, and Tobias sells this one way high. The 1-0 pitch to Southern. That's inside for a ball. Fastball misses low. Two balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. That's in the dirt for ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. To Jared Southern. Nobody on with 1 out. The pitch, ball 4. Jared draws the walk on a 4-pitch walk.
The hard-hitting Connor Bennett comes up.
Bennett is 2 for 3. He has a single, a double, and hitting to a fielder's choice. And that's going to be it for Tobias.
Well,
and he heads out toward right field.
Mr. Tobias has pitched a good game for Weiss.
Give a tip of the hat to Tobias. Seth DeBay will come on in relief. And we will see where the other defensive changes take place. DeBay was at third base, so let's see who moves over. Fusel went to the bench, so they brought somebody else in. Now, some of the negatives about this is you bring somebody in this late for a position player that hadn't had the time to warm up, is they don't come in warm and as far as their pitching arm.
Right.
And it takes some time to get in rhythm. So this could be a plus on the Raiders side. Southern draws the walk, and that will bring up the the pitcher, Connor Bennett. As DeBay gets his last warm-up pitch in. They give you 8. And he's hoping that that's enough.
Well, we'll see what happens. We've got 1 man on, 1 out, bottom of the 7th.
DeBay pitching from the right. He throws over to first, not in time, as I can kind of gather from his move, he's not accustomed to picking off very often. Fastball down the middle for a called strike. Throw over, not in time. Southern dives back in as he was about halfway to second on his lead. And he gets back to the bag. safely.
I think the pitcher didn't know which direction to throw in that one.
I think he was trying to get him to throw into an error. One strike to Bennett. Bennett gets hit. Trying to get out of the way.
Gonna bring up number 26 for the Raiders, Lance Little.
Well, depending on your point of view, that could be helpful to the new pitcher because Connor is certainly a hot bat tonight.
Robert Mount, number 21, will courtesy run for the pitcher.
Courtesy runner number 21, Robert Mount. Running for Connor Bennett.
And how is it you like to say? You know someone?
I know a guy.
I know a guy. Yeah, that's it. I know a guy. Son of Scott Mount, Robert Mount at first base.
Go Bear.
Jared Southern at second base. DeBay deals
I got
a low strike.
throw in my Go Bearcats. That's where the boy child is going.
Little taste for strike one. The 0-1 pitch from DeBay. That goes to the fence, and that'll advance the runners. Raiders with runners at second and third with one out. A golden opportunity. The winning run is 90 feet away. Not the go-ahead run. That's the winning run.
The winning run.
In this case, we're in the seventh inning, so if Little can hit into a single, it'll be a walk-off.
And we're fortunate tonight. We have Mr. Little's dad is running the scoreboard tonight. So
But I will say this about Weiss, Scott. They have held the Raiders to
They
one
have
run
played an outstanding game.
through 6 complete innings. And no other team so far in district has been able to do that.
This is the game we've been told about that they played Cedar Park hard and ended up beating them. And
They took one of those in the series.
They were going to come into the house here and play the Raiders tough.
They're going to walk Little to load the bases to get the force at any base. They wanted to get to Tanner Robbins. And wouldn't this be something if he had a walk-off grand slam?
I was about to say.
I mean, the odds of that happening are slim to none, but you get the intentional walk. Tanner Robbins, and he's gone 0 for 2. He walked way back in the first, so he takes for ball 1.
Raider dugout giving the new pitcher a little bit of encouragement.
Yeah, giving him an earful.
Yeah.
One with the bases loaded. It's in the dirt, and that's costing the ball game with a walk-off wild pitch, and the Raiders win it.
We've got a little bit of a
oh, well, I missed that.
Fireworks here, folks. We not sure what happened on the Weiss dugout, but the coach is not happy.
That goes E1. Let me put that on the other side as the run scores, and the Raiders. You like to say do it in walk-off style, Scott, but they do it on the wild pitch and take advantage of it, and that'll win the game, and they will remain undefeated in district, but it sets it up for a wild and woolly night.
We're going to have a wild night Friday night, folks. I believe so.
Raiders get 1 run on no hits to win this one 2-1. And what an outstanding performance by Gareth Tobias for the Weiss Wolves, who just kept the Raider bats off balance all night long.
I agree. Really outstanding pitching effort by by Mr. Tobias there. And if the Wolves fans are listening, if you weren't able to see it, you missed a good game tonight. He did an outstanding job, and it was a true pitcher's duel.
Well, you got to see it on SHN Sports if you were in.
So we've got a Conley alumni poking his head into the Raiders box here. Jeff Padovic from another Austin Energy retiree.
Yeah.
He's got everything he knows.
Thank you, sir.
Time for TP Talk.
So Father Jeff Padovic was his name, right?
Jeffrey Joe Padovic is where's he playing at now?
UT Tyler.
UT Tyler.
Yep.
Jeffrey Joe Padovic's at UT Tyler, a graduate of Conley High School last year. So, Jeff, diehard Indians fan.
Come on. Now I'm more Rangers fan now.
So, having a little bit of fun here in the press box. But no, back to Mr. Tobias. A really good pitcher's duel tonight. Fisher Kingsbury did a great job, and Connor Bennett came in and closed it out for the Raiders. And that's what it's all about this year, Michael. We've got a team that Coach almost has too many players that it's a good problem to have. He can pick and choose where he needs to place people.
Well, he's got a lot of young players on this team, and next year this could be definitely there will be a district contender.
I think so.
For it.
Having lost so many varsity or so many seniors last year, left a vacuum, but our junior players have stepped up. I believe we only have 7 seniors.
Yeah, I think it's a low number by comparison to what it was the previous year. So, what a thrilling game tonight, a nail biter all the way through. Unfortunate that it has to end on a wild pitch. You would definitely like to see the Raiders do it in walk-off style, but they'll take anything that they can get. A win's a win, even if it's an ugly win, in the sense of a wild pitch versus, say, a grand slam hammy.
Right. But that's baseball, and I'm sure we'll have an exciting night Friday night. We'll be back. We'll bring you all the action from Weiss Field.
Now, keep in mind, we will bring you Friday's action, but Saturday is not part of our regular broadcast schedule, so that will not be on the air. But we will be back next week as the Raiders take on Cedar Park.
That's right.
Yep. We face
an important game.
We face a crosstown rival in Cedar Park, and we've had some good battles over the years, facing some of the excellent pitchers and players that they've had over the years. So we look forward to that, and we look forward to bringing it to you next week. But we will be with you again on Friday night at 7 o'clock at their place. And Scott Mount and I will bring it to you and bring all the action. So you'll want to tune in and not miss it if you're unable to make the trip over. And we'll see you then. Raiders take it 2-1 tonight. And we look to do the same thing and continue the Raider winning ways on Friday. So good night, everybody, and God bless. We'll see you Friday at 7 o'clock. Good night, everyone.